Columbus, Ohio's AJ Dobson attempts to keep his record intact against the pioneer of Jordanian MMA and 32-year-old Amman native Hashem Arkagha.
My name is Hashem Arkagha. I'm 31 years old. I fight out of Medan MMA. You know, in 2010, there was no MMA in Jordan, and we never had an event in our country. My coach tells me he's willing to organize an MMA championship in Jordan. So I begged him to make me fight, to give me a spot. So I prepared maybe for 5 months, boxing, jiu-jitsu, and wrestling, and I fought. I won in 23 seconds, actually. And when I won, it was, boom, the beginning. So whenever I fought, I was the first professional fighter. People went a bit crazy. People started, like, believing in me. And that scared me at the beginning, because this gave me a lot of pressure, but also made me grow a lot. Made me believe more in myself, because people already believe in me. I feel actually proud to be one of the pioneers of MMA in the Middle East. And, you know, I'm the third guy from the Middle East where I have a chance to sign with the UFC now. So I think if I win this fight, we can send shockwaves. In a perfect world, first round knockout, I get the contract, I get a UFC fight right away, and by the beginning of the next year, I'm a UFC star. AJ has a good level of striking and grappling, but I think I can beat him anywhere. I'm ready for him, and I think I have the recipe to knock him out.
This is the hugest opportunity I've had in my life. This is the culmination of 10 years of hard work, so this is everything to me. My name is AJ Dobson. I'm 5-0-1. I'm fighting out of Columbus, Ohio. My mother came to America in the 80s. She had a really rough childhood growing up. She grew up in, the country of Jamaica, barefoot, tying up goat in the morning, and she was able to pick herself up and do what most people couldn't. And she actually had success in Jamaica before she moved to America. So when she was moving, it was almost like, what are you doing? You're giving up shore for unsure. You're sacrificing all this, but she knew she had to do better. And doubled down on herself and became even more successful. In the meantime, she has a child, and it doesn't really work out with my father. Again, she's somebody that's really goal-oriented and is trying to do all this stuff, and my father was trying to be a fighter back in those times, and it wasn't really good opportunities for fighters back then. So my mother really wanted me to be a scholar or do something, anything else, and I ended up just being a fighter just like him, so apple really doesn't fall too far. And yeah, my mother was devastated. The biggest thing is she wanted to see me stick to something, and I think my mother sees that, and that's why she's on board now. But my mother did something that was even more great that I can't even fathom. It's the biggest inspiration for me. It gives me the knowledge of knowing that I can do it. I've been doing this for so long, so I feel like I should have been in the UFC years ago, so I'm gonna fight like that. When I get that contract, it's gonna be amazing, and I think that I'm the best in the world, and I'm here to prove that. All you 85ers, I'm coming.
And here is the young man from Columbus, Ohio, AJ Dobson, coming in unbeaten, 5-0-1. Here is Mick Maynard on Dobson.
AJ has 5 pro fights, all by knockout, but he also has 6 amateur fights. So he has a little bit more experience than you can see. AJ, quite plainly, is going to try to come out and knock your head off. That's his game plan. He wants to come out there and end this quick. He has a very impressive win over Contender Series vet Kalen Hill. And that was his most recent one, which was an absolute brutal knockout. So I'm excited about this kid.
That was a brutal knockout against Kalen Hill. Let's bring in Yanni the Greek Corrales with the gambler's perspective. A slight 120 favorite was AJ Dobson the last time I looked. Yanni, you're rolling with the favorite.
Round total. The over-under is 1.5 with the under -120. Now about -180 towards that under. So a lot of money that this fight will not go past 1.5 rounds, even though we've seen the first 4 go to a decision. And I do like the Dobson side. I was surprised he opened as the underdog. Again, I have some data on his side that I trust. He fought Dana White Contender Series alum in Kalen Hill. who he beat in 35 seconds. And let's not forget, he went a full 3 rounds against Impa Gasagani, who's now in the UFC. And I like his amateur record, 1-1 against another UFC credentialed fighter, John Gunther. So let's go with the small favorite here to end the night.
Yeah, a lot of good data there on A.J. Dobson. And in addition to what Yanni spoke about, he comes from a very good camp. He trains at Strong Style MMA, but also gets a ton of work in at Immortal MMA with Matt Brown, gets a lot of rounds in with him, and you don't get much better training partners than one Matt Brown.
Matt Brown's going to have you prepared because you are going 100% at all times against Matt Brown. There's no doubt about that. Hashem Arkagha from Amman, Jordan, the first Jordanian professional mixed martial arts fighter. He was the Desert Force MMA middleweight champ, the first Middle Eastern champ back in 2012.
Yeah, and listen, as we heard a second ago, Yanni said the line has changed, and I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that Hashem missed weight by 3 pounds. And traditionally, when people miss weight, well, it's not good. Certainly for the contender as well. You know, coming on the contender and missing weight, it's not a great start. But still, if you forget about all that, that's in the rear view. What he has done so far has been phenomenal. He's 6-0. He's a big guy. He's extremely powerful, and he hits very hard. I said at the top of the show about his knockout power, and that's what he does. That's what he delivers. His last 2 fights, they were walk-off knockouts. 1 shot, slept them, and then walked away. Super impressive, Laura.
Insane walk-off knockouts that are just startling to watch. But you have to go back to what you said earlier, Mike. He missed weight. And we know from the history on this show that Dana White does not award contracts to fighters who missed weight. So to me, that says a lot about the mentality that he's going to have coming into this fight. What is he fighting for tonight? Well, in large part, he's fighting to make an impression, to hope to get another chance at the Contender Series or possibly a late-minute, fill-in in the UFC. But this is a different dynamic now for Hashem Arkagha.
Well, he's under a lot of pressure. That's what he's under.
Well, as we take a look at the tail of the tape, you can see that Arkagha did indeed miss weight by 3 pounds, and that's not even close. 3 pounds is a lot to miss weight by. A 1-inch height advantage, and you can see a 1-inch reach advantage for Dobson, but certainly something to prove for Arkagha tonight.
All right,
Mike
gentlemen,
Beltran, our referee.
First round. You ready to fight? You ready to fight? Head on, let's go.
And listen, Mick Maynard said it best before. When you watch Dobson, he comes out in a blaze of glory, man. He does not mess around, but there's that power.
Oh, my gosh.
Whoa!
We've had a lot of decisions tonight. I don't think we're going to see one here, guys.
I'm drinking a coffee. I don't think I need it anymore.
Lightning in a bottle. Both of these guys coming out quickly.
I mean, when you speak to Dobson, he's just the nicest, most polite, mild-mannered guy. But look at this in the octagon. He is a savage.
Oh my goodness.
Look at this. Wow! This guy, Dobson. This is going
Hashem Arkagha has come back from very big knockdowns in past fights. He's able to fight through adversity like this.
There's an arm bar there.
Yes.
He's got that right arm tied up. If he brings the left leg around the face, he could have that. He's looking for it as well.
He has a fantastic jiu-jitsu background. He's going to be looking to swivel his hips, spin off.
There it is, but Dobson saw it coming. And this is a wild start.
Oh,
nice hammer fist.
Got through.
Stay tight, AJ. Don't get too hard.
Just missed with that one.
There's a lot of heat coming behind those punches from A.J. Dobson. 3 wins in a minute or less. Not going to happen here in a minute, but could happen soon.
Yeah, and for A.J. to start like this against another power puncher, I mean, that just shows the courage on this guy. Because a lot of the time, if you know they knock people out like you do, you got to be careful. You got to be tactical, strategic, look for the right opening. He was like, no. This is the way I fight. And he got clipped once or twice, but he still continued going forward.
Yeah, you're right. Often that respect turns you into a little bit more of a tentative fighter, more of a counter striker, but neither of these guys really giving much respect to the other. They're both in there throwing. But right now, A.J. Dobson in top side control here, and I'm questioning, though, if he should be letting this fight get back to the feet, because Hashem Arkagha has a fantastic Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu background. Both men actually purple belts, but Hashem Arkagha has been a purple belt since 2012, so dark purple for that man there, and a champion in Jiu-Jitsu as well.
It's like my brown belt. My brown belt's extremely dark, so it's like so dark it should be black. Never wear a gi.
Dobson doing a very nice job of staying in this dominant position, but Arkagha able to re-guard there.
Dobson, the former college football player at Lake Erie College, dropped out, picked up mixed martial arts.
To your point, Laura, I'd like to see Dobson stand up in the guard and back away. But these are good shots.
These are big shots. This looks like this is working out okay for him.
And they're getting through as well. And Hashem's talking to his corner.
2 minutes. Make your punches score. Make them land, AJ. 2 minutes. 2 minutes left in the round. Keep it up.
He is light.
AJ Dobson is all over arkagha.
Get ready. And Hashem's got a chin, but he's on wary feet right now. He's hurt.
He's wiping his eye.
And he's about to go unconscious.
Arkagha's just flailing at this point.
He's in a bad spot. He's in a very bad spot. He's wiping his eye, clearly injured, and doesn't have all his wits about him. But being here on the ground is going to allow him a chance to recover, but not when AJ Dobson is landing these punches like this.
Well, this is about to be stopped any second now because Mike Beltran's taking a close look. Don't do it, AJ.
No. Don't go.
Don't do it, AJ. He's going for the rear naked choke. Just
I agree.
fire away. You almost had it done.
Keep landing those punches.
Yeah.
Out of those 5 wins, one of those coming by rear naked choke.
And here, arkagha able to, so sorry, Dan, arkagha able to grab a wrist and create that situation where he can gather his wits.
Yeah, he can recover a little bit, and I just want to point out that we've got the godfather of ground and pound, Mark Coleman, in the corner of AJ Dobson. So shout out Mark Coleman, Hall of Famer.
That's deep.
That is deep.
He's not on the back, but it doesn't matter.
That's it.
Wow.
Is AJ Dobson with an absolutely dominant performance in our feature bout of the night. I believe, Michael Bisping, you have a contract winner here.
Yeah, I would say so. That's the only finish, and my word, what a finish it was. Didn't mess about. As soon as they said fight, he was on him. That's how you do it. And let's take a look at just how he did do it. It was predominantly all the hands. He went forward, and it was kind of a blaze of fury. Both guys just swinging, but by far the better shots and more powerful shots from AJ Dobson. Boom, connecting there with the right hand. That one puts him down. He's wobbled, he's down. AJ follows him, and just pure aggression, just going for it, just emptying the tank, doing everything he could to finish the fight. Hey, listen, fair play to Hashem, because he took quite the beating there. And in the end, the rear naked choke. Didn't have the hooks, but at this point, he didn't need them. It's just a formality. He's squeezing there. He's got a lot of power. And he's already taken a lot of shots before that point. And there he is, the Hall of Famer himself, the godfather of ground and pound, Mark Coleman.
AJ Dobson, 5-0, improving to 6-0. Let's send it to Justin Bernard to make it official.
4 minutes, 21 seconds into round number 1. Referee Mike Beltran calls a stop to the fight for the winner by submission due to rear naked choke, AJ Dobson.
Here you go, baby. You did it. You did it, man. You did it. Yeah, you're a killer. Stop it.
Our first finish